Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee regarding alleged misuse and wastage of public funds on the Building Bridges Initiative, known as BBI, BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat, and the Principal Secretaries. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 31st March 2022, the Supreme Court declared the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020, popularly known as BBI Bill, as null and void. The pertinent question that arises is, Mr. Speaker, was public funds utilized in rolling out the unconstitutional BBI process? Honorable Speaker, it is estimated that over 30 billion was used by the BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat, and the Principal Secretaries in the formulation and advancement of the BBI bill. In particular, the BBI Initiative Steering Committee and Task Force spent an estimated Kenya shillings 10 billion of public money in what was termed as public and stakeholder engagement exercise for collection of views on the BBI bill. Further, senior government officers, including principal secretaries, who are also accounting officers, spent an estimated Kenya shillings 20 billion to roll out the illegal BBI project. Honorable Speaker, Article 201, Sub-Article D of the Constitution provides that public money shall be used in a prudent and responsible way. Further, Section 66, subsection 1A and Roman 1 of the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012 provide that accounting officers shall monitor, evaluate, and oversee the management of public finances in their respective entities, including the promotion and enforcement of transparency, effective management and accountability with regard to the use of public finances, and take such other actions not inconsistent with the Constitution. Further, Mr. Speaker, Article 33, Sub-Article D of the Constitution provides the guiding principles of leadership principles, and lastly, leadership integrity, and it defines accountability to public for decisions and actions as one of the leadership principles as provided in the Constitution. Further, Mr. Speaker, Article 226, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution provides that if the holder of a public office, including a political office, directs or approves the use of public funds contrary to law or instructions, that person is liable for any loss arising from that use and shall make good the loss, whether the person remains the holder of the office or not. Honorable Speaker, the use of public funds by the BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat, and the Principal Secretaries on the unconstitutional BBI bill was in blatant violation of Article 73, Sub-Article D, on Article 201, Sub-Article D, and on Article 226, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution and Section 66, subsection 1A and Roman 1 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012. Honorable Speaker, indeed, pursuant to Article 73, Subarticle D, as read together with Article 226, Subarticle 5 of the Constitution, the principal secretaries who authorized the use of public funds and or diverted public funds for the advancement of the unconstitutional BBI process should be held personally liable for the misuse and wastage of public funds. Whereas, Mr. Speaker, under Article 37 of the Public Audit Act, number 34 of 2015, a forensic audit to establish the fraud, the corruption, or financial improprieties may be undertaken by the Auditor General only upon request by Parliament and also this House. It is worth noting that Article 229, Subarticle 5 of the Constitution places a constitutional and legal obligation on the Auditor General to conduct an audit on the accounts of any entity that is funded from the public funds. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that the BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat, and the principal secretaries applied diverted public funds into unconstitutional BBI process. The Auditor General, Mr. Speaker, has a constitutional obligation under Article 2295 of the Constitution as an independent office to undertake an audit of the accounts of the BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat, and the principal secretaries responsible for possible misuse and wastage of public funds. Honorable Speaker, it is on the account of these grave concerns that I seek for a statement from the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee on the following. What was the exact amount of public funds that were allocated and utilized by the BBI Steering Committee and Task Force, the BBI Secretariat and Principal Secretaries in the unconstitutional BBI process? Mr. Speaker, whether in accordance with Article 201D of the Constitution, the public funds were used in a prudent and responsible way. Speaker, and I don't need a pedestrian answers on the floor of the House. There are people who are used to pedestrian engagement. They can't engage me. And finally, Mr. Speaker, whether in accordance with Article 229, Subarticle 6 of the Constitution, the public funds were applied lawfully and in an effective way. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If not this Parliament, the next Parliament will deal with this matter.